Hello, I want to talk a little bit about this van that I have. Inside, I have a window mounted air conditioner that is mounted inside the van, and it operates really well. Nothing sticks out or anything like that. And I use a series of duct fans to operate it. And I want to talk a little bit about it, of my setup and what I have. So setup is basically, it's powered by three 325 watt panels primarily. So basically I have these panels wired into this conduit here, running all the way through the rail here that I built, running into the van. Goes into this conduit, it runs into the van and powers my air conditioner. So in this video, I'm not going to get too far into the whole electrical setup. I'm going to briefly go over it, what I have. But this video is mainly about my air conditioner, my window mounted air conditioner, and how I have it set up in the van using a system of ducts, all powered by the solar panel. Basically what happens here is the way it's built, the way I build it in here, is I have my window mounted air conditioner, and basically I fabricated a duct system. So basically the way I fabricated this part right here is just basically a duct. It's just basically a straight shaft that was 8 inches wide, and I basically cut it in a way. To accommodate a little over the length of the base of the air conditioner, and then I rolled it over, and then I kind of formed I used a special duct scissors and a fabricating tool to fabricate a seal on here to basically bend the metal so I can I could form the creases in order to splice these together. So anyway, that's basically what I did. I just created just kind of fabricated a duct box that would fit specifically over that air conditioner, and this is 8 inches around. Basically cut a diameter in there. It's assisted. The hot air that comes out of the air conditioner is assisted by this duct fan. It pulls out about 800 cubic, I think it's about between 500 to 700 cubic feet per minute, I think, somewhere on there. You don't need anything significantly high to move the air out. You just basically need to create a little assistance when the air comes out of the air conditioner, because it tends to be warm, so you don't want this part getting too warm. You're going to need the duct fan to assist in getting the air out. And basically I have it going through the inside of the truck. It goes right up in there. Basically goes underneath the truck right there. Just got all this stuff from the Home Depot and Lowe's. Basically created kind of a duct right there. That's where the hot air from the air conditioner is exiting. The way I designed this setup here is basically the air is essentially coming through here. I don't normally keep this duct fan on when I'm running the air conditioner, but there's another duct fan here. This is what I used to have. So this is an old setup I used to have before, and I used to have duct air going directly from here to here. But right now this is kind of just little temporary setup here, and basically the air would be moving underneath this duct fan, getting sucked in through here, create a pocket of air in here where the air conditioner essentially will pull the air out, cooling off the condenser and operating the air conditioner and so forth. And I hooked up this thing really quick, just kind of show you what the air conditioner is using about 400 watts of power right now. The compressor's on and all that. If we plug just the duct fan in there without the air conditioner, that's 100 watts. And this is the compressor's on at the moment. This would be its normal operating power consumption. So overall, it's it's using about 500 watts to operate the duct fan and the air conditioner. So if you're going to have a setup like this, you're going to need a solar setup of at least 600 to 900 watts is really what you're going to need. You're going to need a slight overkill, especially if you have your solar panels laying flatwards like that. It does a phenomenal job of capturing the power. I think I could get away with just 2 solar panels, provided they're directly in the sun at all times. It should power the air conditioner just fine. but this overpowers the batteries. It actually will charge the batteries and is sufficient enough to power my air conditioner. Now I'm going to go over the electrical system really quick and how I'm using the solar power or the solar array to power the air conditioner. This thing is separate here. It's on a separate different battery. I'm not going to really get too far into the whole setup on here. This van has been using a solar system for a very long time. I started initially with this 300 watt system, but anyway, this is about what's powering the air conditioner. It's powered off these 325 watt panels. Each of these panels putting out 325 watts, put out a maximum of 8.66 amps. That's how it's rated. And then it's got 37.6 volts maximum capacity. I have these things wired in parallel. I don't have them wired in series or anything like that. So basically wiring them in parallel is going to allow the same amount of voltage but building up the amps each time. So if it operates at a maximum of 8.66 amps each, I put this in, or put the fuses in and the whole wiring system in the basis of gauges of the wire. This wire is capable to carry 30 amps. You know, this is definitely overkill for what I'm using for the solar system. I could have used smaller wires, but the reason why I installed this way, I wanted the option in case I had to install a different panel, one of them got damaged, I can still encompass a higher amperage panel if needed. So basically the way it works is for each panel here, we got these wires. They go into the positive bus feed and the negative bus feed. So these wires are mounted into the positive end terminals of the solar array. I basically use household type material to create this kind of a conduit here to allow the flow of the solar of the wires connecting to the solar panel. Right in the conduit right here is where the bluish color wires would begin. They're connected to these wires here. So if I were to take this off, I can disconnect it fairly easily. It goes into my switches. These switches I can control the top, whether I want to turn the whole system on or off. And this is for the solar. I can disconnect the solar from the disconnect switch inside. And then of course powering the inverter. This switch right here will just turn on the inverter. So I have everything kind of hooked up already. And once I throw that switch, that inverter will just turn on. And then of course I got more fuses and stuff going from the charge controller into the battery system here. The batteries that I'm using, they're about 100 amp hours each. They're Everstart, they're Everstart brand. Got them from Walmart. I think I paid about $85 to $100 for each battery. Actually, I think it's a little over $100 for each battery. And you know, basically, this is the battery setup. The main idea in this setup was to use solar power only to power it, but I did want to reserve battery power. With this battery pack that I had here, when they were brand new, you know, I could get about 3 to 4, I'd say about maybe 3 to 4 hours of air conditioning time on a hot night, you know, without any kind of sunlight. But of course, you know, they did wear down over time. You know, they're not really, Everstart is the most cheapest brand you can get. You definitely want to probably use golf cart grade batteries if you're going to set this up, you know, just from my experience. But I had these batteries for a long time. 2024 today, had it since 2020. Since this is a 2000 watt inverter, the wires must be at about, I think it's about 0 gauge or something like that. It has to be able to tolerate 88 amps of current coming out of these batteries in order to convert the current to 2000 watts. This is a 24 volt system. Basically, these two batteries here are wired in parallel for 12 volts. It's about 200 amp hours. And these two batteries here are also wired parallel for 12 volts. So I basically took a 12 volt battery pack here and a 12 volt battery pack here and connected it in series to make a 24 volt system. This 24 volt system is what operates this inverter. This inverter runs on a 24 volt system. And if you're going to power something as big as an air conditioner or something that pulls that kind of current, or pulls that kind of power to run, I highly suggest you use a 24 volt system rather than a 12 volt system. This particular charge controller is an MPP charge controller. It's an EP for brand. These are great charge controllers. I used it on a 300 watt system. I mean, it's never given me a single problem. I'm not promoting the product or anything like that. I'm just sharing insight on what's worked for me. The way I have the air conditioner set up is I basically built this box this wooden box that kind of goes over the air conditioner. So basically what this does is this is made out of plywood here, and I basically just cut them to the right dimensions here and then screwed them together. And I basically built this box that just kind of goes around the whole air conditioner that the air conditioner sits on. And once I got done building this box from the outside and then encompassing it and closing it from the inside, basically the way the box is built, it just goes around the air conditioner, allowing enough space here to allow air flow to go through here. And that basically it goes around all the way to the front there. Basically I had the box that I built out of wood here mounted on this into the rectangular area I cut specifically to fit this box. And I basically just used punch angle to hold it together. Does a great job holding it, provides a lot of strength. Basically have the bolts from the punch angle coming from the inside of the van, coming out of here, secured right here on the sides here, and also secured by several bolts going from this side of the punch angle to the inside of the framing of this piece of this plywood. And on a hot day, it blows extremely cold. We're losing a lot of sunlight right now at this point as I'm filming this, but this thing normally registers at full capacity. You see a full amount of power going in there in a broad daylight. So I hope this video puts an idea or something similar to enclose an air conditioner inside of an enclosed space, not having it mounted outside and sticking out any kind of window or any structure for that matter. I hope this video kind of inspires some ideas or helps someone out that this can be done. And it works really well. I've been using this setup on and off for over 3 years now, and it's been extremely effective. As far as keeping the van cool, it works really well. Before I had the air conditioner inside, I had this connected directly in here into the cabin, and basically is assisted by a 4-inch duct fan. And that duct fan would blow the air into here directly. That was before I had the air conditioner in here. And it still did a great job keeping the van cool.